Happy hump day, y'all.
Welcome to the That's So Lane podcast. We're so excited to have you here today. I'm Casey.
And I'm Molly. And apparently our names are hysterical. Casey, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. The sun is shining.
Yes, it is here too.
When I looked out my window this morning, it's like a whole different world you're living in when it's sunny versus when it's cloudy.
It really is. It really is. It's the difference between literally waking up happy or waking up in the worst mood ever.
This is me yesterday to today. And I don't think I truly ever understood this. If y'all are listening and you're from the South, like I never understood this because a lot of days are sunny in the South, even in the winter. And since we moved here, those cloudy days can really mess with your head. I worked from bed yesterday, so I was productive, but I literally was in my bed until after 12 o'clock.
Oh, yes. The dreariness has drug on here. I think we've been going on like 5 days with just maybe 6 days with nothing but rain and clouds and cold, and I'm already ready to go to the beach.
Well, maybe we should plan another beach trip.
Yes, we definitely need to do that.
Should we bring the kids this time or not?
They would probably hate us if we left them here in the dreariness.
Probably so. But they have school, like we might should just escape. But you know what? The jury makes you extra super grateful for the sun. And I've never been more grateful for the sun than I am today.
This is very true. You will definitely look at the sun in a whole new light after you live in the north.
Yep. Facts. Facts is facts.
But not all of the north is like this. When we first moved up to Ohio, we had our next door neighbors were from Minnesota, and I can only think of one place worse than Ohio, and that would probably be Minnesota. But they would complain about the weather all the time. I'm like, how your weather has to be worse than our weather? And she's like, well, we get tons of snow, but it's always sunny.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was
I've
just
been to
intrigued by that.
Minnesota a couple times, but I think it was summertime. Yeah, you went there, didn't you?
I don't think so.
To the Mall of America?
Oh, yeah, I guess I did when I was way young, but I don't even remember much of that.
Do you know what I remember from that?
What?
Uh, we were in a hotel room. You were there. Oh my gosh, look at me remembering things of childhood that you don't. This is amazing. We were in a hotel room and I had these stinky sandals they were from Target or Walmart. They smelled so bad. And Dad said there is no way these shoes are even staying the night in the hotel. So he put them out in the hallway and he refused to let me wear them again, but he bought me Doc Martens at the Mall of America the next day.
Look at that. I thought you were going to go into like the Office episode of Kevin's shoes where they got incinerated.
I don't know this, but that sounds like something that should have happened to those stinky sandals. They were like Doc Marten lookalikes,
Yes.
and they smelled so bad. But I actually have eyes on the pair of Doc Martens he bought me because they're sitting here in my bedroom.
That does not surprise me at all.
I am a pack rat. I am really good at saving memorable things. Like I have a hard time getting rid of things that are memorable, and clearly those are very memorable to me because I remember buying them
Yes, from your childhood, you have a memory
from
there.
childhood and the Mall of America and my first time in Minnesota.
There you go. I don't even
Mhm.
remember that. So
Yeah, that's so wild to me. There's a roller coaster in there. We went on the roller coaster.
I remember none of that.
We stayed at this. It was like for a church thing. We stayed at this college that there were nuns there, and what is the male equivalent of a nun? Monks.
Oh, yes.
They were walking around.
I remember none of that. Are you sure I
Oh
was on that
my gosh.
trip?
Maybe you weren't there. Maybe you weren't there.
Yeah, I feel like I might not have been there. Maybe
You
I
were
was
too old.
already married and gone.
Maybe so. Well, the more you know, we used to be in a touring singing group all over the country, and one stop was in Minnesota. Apparently, Casey had retired from the singing group at that point.
I have to look
Uh,
back through my pictures and see if I can jog this memory.
yeah, you'll have to. I'll look back at it too. But you know what? I don't know that you were, because like Billy and Trent, remember those boys? They were there. And I
Okay.
don't think that you were there part of that.
Yeah, I do feel like that was after my time. I wasn't out of the house yet, but I think I was working full time at that point, I think.
Last maybe last week we were talking about how random it was that you and Billy and I all worked at that company in Florida.
Yes.
So so wild. Like 2 days ago, I was talking to this girl on Instagram who I met through a friend of a friend. I've actually never met her in real life, but I commented on a reel that she posted, and a guy that worked at that same company commented on there too. And I'm like, how do you know him? And she's like, oh, he's in business with my husband. And I'm like, wow, it's a small
Small
world.
world.
Yeah, so wild.
That's crazy.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I keep feeling or seeing more and more of these random, like, small world things happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, how was your week since we last spoke?
Oh, very good. Jared and I had a night out for his birthday. His birthday was on Friday.
And he is old as dirt.
Yes, he turned 47. Um, so yeah, the kids were out of school on Friday, so he did not want to take the day off work on Friday.
Oh my word.
Oh, so he worked on Friday. We went to dinner Friday night, and then he had his perfect weekend of watching football all day Saturday. Um, and then yeah, on Sunday we got lunch with his mom, and then we headed to Columbus up to Worthington, and we stayed in a hotel up there. We had dinner. We went
Fun.
to this fun it's a coffee bar, but they have like a night cocktails at night for like Thursday through Sunday. And one of our friends was playing jazz there that night,
Ooh,
so we watched him,
I
and
love
then
it.
yeah, slept in on Monday, went shopping, and then picked up the kids, and that's about
That
it.
sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was so relaxing and just no agenda. We just did whatever we wanted to do.
I love that. Does full vacation Casey come out on a one night kind of staycation?
I would say yes. The majority of
Okay,
my full vacation self does come out on a one night stay. As long as
gotcha.
I just don't have anyone to take care of, then my vacation self comes out more often.
Yes, I see that. Vacation Molly is the best version of myself. Even like when I have the kids, Vacation Molly usually comes out. Um, but not having like responsibility beyond the family, like I don't cook or clean or all those things, it's really life giving.
Yes, it definitely is. And I just love like exactly having no agenda, not having to cook, specifically not having to cook. That's just cooking is just my it's like the one thing that I hate more than life itself.
That is so sad to me. But you know what I said to Billy last night? I told him, I think I've lost my love of cooking. And he was like, really? Why? And I'm like, I think because this season of life, everyone's kind of going 900 directions, and we are not eating family dinners like with everybody as often. And a certain child of mine complains about every single meal I make, and then that's just it becomes a fight. And then everyone's so busy going, and I end up being the one cleaning usually as well. And it's just this bah humbug. And I'm trying not to drink during the week, and my love of cooking is amplified by a glass of wine. So if I'm not drinking my glass of wine, it just loses that whole like moment for me. I don't know.
Right.
This is ridiculous. But I just need my kids to stop complaining about dinner, specifically Lincoln. Bless it.
Yeah. Somebody always complains about my food. I mean, I'm not the greatest cook, but I can follow a recipe and make a decent meal. But yeah, somebody never likes what we're eating. Like if it's one child, it's another child, there's never all four of them that are enjoying what I cook. And so yeah, that's why I'm just like, why? Why am I cooking? Everybody make yourself a turkey sandwich and have a great evening.
My family would revolt if I told them it was sandwich night. they would all get in the car and go out to a restaurant, which I guess mission accomplished.
Right.
But last night I made fajitas, and that's a pretty, like, I don't think anyone complained. Well, no, Lincoln did initially complain because he's like, "Where are the crunchy shells?" And I'm like, "I don't make crunchy shells on fajita night, just on taco night." I wanted a taco. I'm like, "Well, it's fajita night." So once he got over the fact that it wasn't Taco Tuesday, it was Fajita Tuesday, then he was okay. But I like that because everyone can kind of build whatever they want, and there's usually no complaints about fajita night.
Yes. Yeah, tacos, Mexican just in general is always a hit. We definitely do that once a week. Did I send you the baked taco recipe that I've been using?
The what taco recipe?
Baked taco recipe.
Oh, baked taco. No,
It's
you did
very,
not.
very good. I'm gonna have to send it to you. I mean, it's pretty much just like regular tacos, but then you put them all together in like a thick shell and then you bake them with cheese all over the top. They are really, really delicious. You can add
Oh.
toppings to them, like cold toppings if you wanted after they came out of the oven, but they are a hit with the whole family. So, yeah.
Whole family hit dinners are hard to come by.
Yeah. Last night I made chili because it was cold, of course, and Owen had a soccer game, and so I was like, I'm gonna make chili, and we'll have Fritos and cheese, stuff like that. And then so everybody kind of ate a little bit early because this game was at 6. So we ate at like 5:15, and then we all went out to dinner after the game.
Oh my gosh. That's what would happen here if I made chili. Everyone would go to dinner. No, but well, Billy and I like chili, and I really like soup a lot, especially in the winter, and no one here does. So I'm contemplating maybe making a pot of chili just to have for lunches
Hmm.
because we'll eat that for lunch. But like, who doesn't like chili? It's so good inside of your bones. I don't know.
I know.
Feels
And I love soups. I love tortilla soup. I love broccoli cheddar soup.
good.
I love
Ooh.
so many different kinds of soups. And my family will not eat soup. Literally, chili is the only thing that they will eat. And they're not always thrilled about that. I just thought it would be something easy and quick last night. And it was. I put it in the crock pot. It cooked all day. But yeah, nobody was thrilled with it. So.
Eh. Well, I just saved 2 crock pot meals, a Crunchwrap Supreme casserole, like bake recipe that
Oh,
looks pretty amazing.
that sounds
Uh,
good.
oh, there was one more recipe that I saved, but I like to go on Pinterest randomly and save like a bunch of recipes. And then when I meal plan, I try to include a couple new ones. And then I just tell the kids, like, give me feedback. Like this, I didn't make up this recipe. Just I'm trying something new. If you like it, we'll add it to the rotation. If you don't, we'll just eat, be happy and move on.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to add some new things. But I want to try the Crunchwrap Supreme casserole. The only problem is not customizing everyone's Crunchwrap is that Billy won't eat sour cream. Cooper and Callan don't want tomatoes. Like, then it starts to be annoying. Like, I can't just make the whole casserole because picky McPickersons.
Right.
Ugh,
Yep. Same with our lives here.
I guess it's probably the same with everything. Speaking of food and recipes, I am making my famous Nashville hot chicken dip on Saturday because our families are in a massive rival come Saturday.
Oh, yes. That's going to be fun.
Penn State versus Ohio State. Do not let our husbands speak to each other.
Yes, it should be a good, good game. We're excited about that one. I really do hate this new noon game thing, though. I don't know. Does Billy follow Penn State all season or only when they play Ohio State?
He does follow them all season,
Okay.
but he's especially amped and ready for the whiteout when they play Ohio State.
Okay. So Ohio State, I guess there was like new contracts with certain stations or something, and I don't even know. We might have one night game this year.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really depressing. So we usually buy season tickets. We didn't buy season tickets this year. Number one, because Jared said he can't go step foot back in to the shoe until they beat Michigan again.
oh my gosh.
He's
Jared is the most diehard football person I know, like personally.
and slightly dramatic about it, just slightly dramatic.
He's
Um,
very dramatic.
so, um, also, the home schedule this year was just kind of blah. But yeah, you combine that with all of these noon games, and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm a football fan anymore. I'm just I'm just losing the mojo. Come on. You got to give me
I
something.
I'm here for a noon game.
Really? I don't like the noon games. I mean, especially if I'm there. If I'm
Oh,
at the stadium, I want it to be a 3:30 game or a 7 o'clock game. I am not for a noon game. There's no
I
tailgating
guess
time with a noon game.
right. I mean, you have to tailgate with like mimosas and omelets or something. I don't even know. What do you snack on at 10 in the morning?
Yeah, it's not fun at all. And then it's exceptionally cold because you have to get there at like 10 and it's freezing.
True.
I mean, the night's cold too, but by the time the night rolls around, then you've had enough hot toddies to make up for it.
I have only attended a handful of games, football games, a couple Jet games versus the Panthers in Charlotte, and a Penn State game. But I don't remember being too cold at any of them, but they were all in the South.
Oh, that makes a slight difference.
Yes. Yeah. I can't see myself as one watching football up here, like at the stadium. Like the Michigan fans are die hard here. I'm surrounded by Michigan fans.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I like to me, like, football season is supposed to be cold, I guess, because Jaden played all through high school and, we were always here in Ohio through that time. So it's supposed to be cold. I don't mind bundling up, but I don't want to be miserable.
Yes.
Like Jared was talking about coming up to the Michigan game right after Thanksgiving, and I'm like, you could not pay me enough money to sit in that stadium the day after Thanksgiving or the weekend after Thanksgiving in
But you
Michigan.
could come visit me.
You're not even going to be there.
Oh, okay. Good point. Don't go. Save your trip for another day.
Yes. Oh.
Speaking of, you need to come visit me.
I know. I need to come visit you. We were trying to come. When were we trying to come? Next weekend. And yeah, they scheduled Owen's soccer tournament for Saturday and Sunday.
Kids sports rule lives.
They really do. They really, really do. And I kind of thought that we were getting out of that. Not that I didn't think Avery and Owen were going to play sports, but just I didn't think that they were going to be quite as hardcore as Jaden and Evan have been.
Yeah.
And they're just turning into be quite as hardcore.
I was looking at New Year's plans, and our kids have off, I think the same as yours, until like January 8th or something. It's such a weird Christmas break.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if all schools are doing this year because of the date. Like I think Christmas falls on like a weird day. I don't
It
know.
falls on Sunday, Monday.
Monday. So I think it's a little weird. Cooper is not feeling it. And they also have a basketball game in the middle of the week during Christmas break,
Oh
like
my goodness.
January 4 or 5. And a part of me is like, screw it. We're just going to make our plans. And a part of me is like, no, you can't miss it. And then the coaches get mad. And then you get benched the next game and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, can we just normalize an actual break from sports?
Right. Yeah, that always frustrated me. And I mean, my philosophy was if enough parents didn't show up, they would stop, or if enough kids weren't there, they would stop scheduling games during that time. But unfortunately, it never worked in my favor. So,
Well, that is unfortunate. Definitely. I just washed my hair. Just thought you should know that.
oh,
It's kind of like a big day when I wash my hair.
are you on my
Because
schedule now, or is it just a random Wednesday that you washed your hair?
it was just a random Wednesday. I actually washed a little early because I ran a couple times and I was feeling a little greasier than normal. So I just went ahead and washed it because I also have a doctor's appointment today. And I'm like, what if they touch my hair? Like, what if they get close to me and it smells bad? So I just wanted to be extra clean. But it's like a whole thing. I'm so happy when I get out of the shower and I'm like, oh my gosh, every part of me is clean. And then the dread sets in that I actually have to dry my hair and curl it fresh.
Right. That's the worst. It's just the worst.
It takes freaking forever. And I think, well, maybe I should cut my hair off. And then every time I cut my hair off, I literally mourn my feminine cover.
Oh, you do have a problem cutting your hair off for sure.
Oh my gosh. I never cut my hair until I just hack it all off. And I did it the year Jaden graduated high school. When was that?
2022.
22. That was just last year.
Yeah.
Dang. I cut my hair right before his ceremony that I came to. Shelby cut it for me. And then I came with like fresh short hair, and I've never felt uglier.
Well, you know what just kills me is that, when we were kids and we used to watch like the Jetsons and
Yeah.
the Flintstones, like, okay, who would have ever thought that in the year 2023, we don't have a Julie Jetson hair thing where it just comes down, we pick our hairstyle, it does it for us, and then we move on with life.
That is a good point. There are some advances that I am shocked do not exist.
I mean, I
Did,
thought for
did
sure we would at least have flying cars by now.
Well, I thought probably too. Did mom do a time capsule for you when you were a baby?
I think so.
I opened up the thing the other day. I don't know how I came across it. I probably came across it because I still have it. It was from my baby shower in 1984, and everyone put in there like what they expected the world to be like the year that I turned. Oh, I can't remember what year, maybe 21 or something like that. So long past, but flying cars were on the list. Someone picked that. Like, that seems like a reasonable thing to happen in a span of 21 years or however long it was.
Right.
Like, if airplanes can fly, why can't cars?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
We already have the technology. We just need to downsize it.
I mean, we talk like this is so easy. Like, make my pilot fly. Gosh darn it. Oh, man. I am in need of a new car in the year 2024. It's going to happen.
Yes, I'm getting there myself. And my problem is I can't decide on what type of car I want. And then there's the issue of downsizing. I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old that really don't ride with us hardly ever, maybe 4 times a year. And even in those times, it's like, do we actually have to have them ride with us? Like, they could just take their own car.
What about a
So,
vacation, though?
but we've flown on vacation, and even on vacation this year, we're probably taking a girlfriend. So we're going to have another car anyway.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. That is kind of sad to think about. Like, maybe the car I get next year is my last mom mobile.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what
until the wheels fall off.
I had to start thinking about. I'm like, okay, do I want whatever car I buy, like, to be a 7-seater for the next, 5 to 7 years? Or do I just go ahead and downsize? Or do I keep my car another year until I can make a decision?
I mean, obviously you're going to have to keep it until you make a decision, and it might be a year.
True. Because I'm such a quick decision maker.
Oh, yeah. I already know what I want. I just don't want to spend the money on it.
Cars are ridiculous right now.
It is ridiculous. Like, the car that I want is a pricier car because it's a huge SUV. But when you think about how much that car costs versus like how much our childhood home cost, like, hello, this is insane. Those are approximately the same cost.
Yes, exactly.
How is this reality?
Well, heaven knows that our salaries didn't go up that much in the last 40 years.
That's true. I am the wrong way family member to be talking about economic issues. Billy could wax poetic about it forever, and I'm just like, do. I don't. Yeah, the money stuff is not. I don't like it. Let's not talk numbers.
No numbers.
It stresses me out. Like, really, it really stresses me out. Speaking of numbers, you know what's insane?
What?
The cost of tickets to see people perform.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Ticketmaster has all my money because I have gotten a lot of tickets lately to some really great shows. So I'm like, merciful. It's ridiculous.
It is. It definitely is.
And the worst part is all the fees. Like, aren't you making enough money off the actual ticket? Like, these fees are crazy.
Yeah, they are. They're out of control.
Yeah. Oh, well. I was going to tell you something. I had it all planned. I had it planned out. I don't remember what it was. I don't know. This week, we really don't have like a topic because we're just chit-chatting.
Yes, it's a no topic week.
It's a no topic. You know what I was thinking earlier, that we should just broadcast our whole Marco Polo channel.
That would be a sight for sore eyes.
People would just bleed out of here. They would be like, y'all need serious help.
So our brother has told us that we're completely out of date and fashion and style and everything else because we've decided to have a Marco Polo channel for our siblings and sisters. And we talk on it all day long, and it's super fun. And I think we've mentioned this in the last couple of
Yes, we
episodes.
did talk about this last time.
Yeah. But apparently it's like old news. And I mean, I don't care. I told him, you still text. And I was doing that like 25 years ago. So
With the, what was it called? T9?
I don't know.
You know, where you had to push the button like 3 times for C, and then
Yes.
those were the days. Like, I kind of sometimes I miss simpler time, and I also want my car to fly. So how can we combine these two? Give me the simple life and all the technology at the same time, because I really do enjoy 2-day delivery. I enjoy being able to ask questions of random devices in my house, and it just tells me the answer while I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I do not enjoy the construction next door to me this morning. I woke up at 6:15 a.m. to the brightest lights of all. I was like, is Jesus coming back? What is happening out my window? And I look out, and they poured a foundation next door to us, and they dumped off all the wood to build the house yesterday. And this morning, apparently these guys are just up and at them because they have these massive spotlights, like, you know, the ones you see on the highway, like driving down the road in the middle of the night and they're doing construction on the highway.
Yeah.
That is in my side yard, and I can see it in my bedroom window. And I'm like, you guys need some more sleep. You should not be out here with power tools in the dead of night.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I
So
don't
they
like
worked
it.
all night, or they just started early in the morning?
I think they just started early in the morning. It was like 6, but the light literally woke me up. My circadian rhythm is all thrown off now because it's been lit by artificial light.
Well, the good news is once the time changes, then it should be light out earlier. So you probably only have a couple more weeks of getting woken up like that.
I mean, I think they should not be working on houses when people are still sleeping.
I mean, isn't it kind of the same rule of thumb of like not mowing your grass before 8 a.m.?
Well, I would think, but this is not the first day that I have been woken up by inappropriate things happening outside.
Oh, that does stink.
I don't know. Like, I could get it in the summertime. You want to get out there before it's too hot, but now, like, you need the sunshine. It's too cold. Wait a minute, and then start.
True. Very, very true.
I don't know. That's my gripe of the day.
First world problems.
We are falling backward
We're falling back.
in
Yes.
2 weeks. I think it's 2.5 weeks.
Why can we not get this changed already?
It doesn't really bother me.
Oh,
Like, I don't understand why it's a big deal.
because it gets dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
But eventually, wouldn't it all just be out of whack?
No, we could just leave it alone. If we just left it right here, it wouldn't change. Nothing would change, except it would be dark later in the morning. And I think
So-
that's people's concern with it, because they said like certain states or certain areas in certain states would, like, their kids would be, it would be dark getting on the bus until almost like 9:30.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Man, I'd really have a hard time getting out of bed then. I'd be in bed till 2 in the afternoon.
Oh.
I really love being in the bed. I'm an Enneagram 9, and I love all things cozy and just comfortable, and I just want to be like peaceful and happy always. So the bed and me are like real BFFs.
Yes. Yeah. Jared is the same way, and he's also an Enneagram 9.
Yes, Jared. Oh, what is your Enneagram?
I think I vacillate. It really depends on what demon is possessing me that day. I've decided.
Oh, that's horrible. Why would you ever say that? Take it back.
I'm just kidding. I take it back. No, I think I'm an 8 most of the time, but I also have a lot of the characteristics of a 1.
Interesting. I
So
don't think of those as being the same, but maybe there are crossovers. Hmm. I thought you were the same as Billy.
what is Billy?
I think he's a 3.
No.
No, he's a 5. He's a 3. He's a 3. A 5? I don't know. You're not supposed to type your friends, but I typed him, and then I think he's a 3.
Yeah, not a 3. If anything, I would be, yeah, I go back and forth between a 1 and an 8. And that's what's weird too, because I'm not like, I'm not a close number, but I'm severely OCD. I'm type A. I
I'm
like to have everything planned.
I'm Googling right now. What are the Enneagram types? Oops. Um, I have that whole book. I don't know where that book is. I think I must have given it to someone. Speaking of books, I'm going to start reading more. I have a little list of some books I want to start reading. I just want to be an educated woman reading fiction books.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I'm going to educate myself in fiction/smut books. Number 1 is The Reformer. Oh, okay. I see that. I see how you could. I don't know. Number 3 is The Achiever, success-oriented, pragmatic type. That's what I thought you were. Excelling and driven.
I am very driven. But I think there was something about a 3 that didn't fit me at all.
Image conscious.
Probably.
I don't mean that as an insult. Like I don't feel like you care too much about what people think about you, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I'm very, I guess, confident in who I am.
Oh, that's the 8, self-confident.
Right. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm just like a perfect combination of all of them. I'm just a perfect human.
Everybody I've asked like on my Instagram a couple times what people think I am, and everyone always guesses a 7, which is like fun-loving, spontaneous, that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Which I am, like a fun-loving, spontaneous kind of person, but I'm a 9, 100%, and I'm much more outgoing when I'm hanging out with my phone than in real life situations.
I don't see that. You're very fun when I'm there and your phone's not around.
You know what I mean, though, like when I'm talking on Instagram or I'm here chit chatting with you, whatever,
Oh,
or around
sure.
my family. But around like people in general, I'm very much like a hand wringer, not gonna be the first one to speak kind of thing. And I'm trying to be better about that. Oh my gosh. I just looked at my knee, and I mean I must have missed this spot of shaving for approximately 4 years. How does that happen? How do I have like 1-inch black hair on my knee?
That is, yeah. Well, you know what, your knee though. I feel like the hair on your knee grows in like 3 days. So maybe it was just 3 days
Maybe
missing
so.
shaving.
Okay, I digress. What were we just talking about? Oh, the personalities. I really love the Enneagram.
I do too. I don't know why, because Jared's always like, I'm not sure why you're so obsessed with this, because like you know who you are. So why do you need a little number to tell you who you are?
Well, Billy says that you can just make excuses for being the way you are instead of trying to be a better human if you're just relying on the Enneagram. And so I do think that's a good point. Like, because I follow all these like Enneagram pages, like, oh, I'm this, this, and this. And it's okay to just be this, and this, and be like sucky about it's okay to like wring your hands and not speak to people. I'm an Enneagram 9.
Sure. Well, I
Complacent.
mean, I do think for other people, it helps them understand you more. It's more of I think it's more of a way to help other people understand you more than even necessarily understanding yourself. Because I think deep down, if we're all honest with ourselves, like we know who we are and what makes us tick and what makes us mad, and but
Yes.
sometimes just having that, oh, okay, this is the light bulb that has gone off in
True.
my head, and I can share that with someone else that's maybe not quite understanding me.
That's true. I do forward a lot of those little Enneagram 9 things to Billy. Like, this is why I don't speak for 4 days and then I yell at everyone because y'all did this to me.
Oh my gosh.
You're right. It does help people understand you a little bit more. I think that understanding the Enneagram as a parent is actually really good too, because I see my kids and their Enneagram types, and it definitely helps me like understand them better.
Yeah.
And
It's been a while since I've done my kids, and I can't remember what any of them are, but I have never figured out what Jaden is. Um, he's just, I don't know. I haven't been able to pinpoint him to a number.
speaking
I
of
also,
perfect specimen of a human, I do think that Jaden Hanks is one quality human being.
he is a very good boy.
He's very good. I always thought like this is who I want my boy. Not that any of the other ones are not. I just think like he's leading the way for not only your family but all of the Lane grandbabies coming behind him. Great job,
Yeah.
Jaden. Listen to our podcast.
Oh, I do love the Five Love Languages book too. I know you've read that one as well.
I love that, and I have the 5 love languages for kids.
Yes, it's definitely good to figure out, how you can love your kids best.
This
Um,
helps me understand that Cooper's love language is gifts, and a simple thing like taking him to the store and letting him get like random things he wants, like that I was probably going to buy anyway, but him like picking them out and putting them in the cart and stuff really goes a long way. If you want your teenager to open up to you, tap into their love language. Mine just happens to
yes.
be a Target run. Well, his happens to be a Target run. Yeah.
Oh, Avery is the same way. Her love language is definitely gifts, and she's also she loves physical touch, hugs and cuddles.
Oh,
But yeah, I always was a little bit overwhelmed by her gift love language because I'm like, okay, well, number one, she has everything. Like her room is a hot mess all the time. And like, okay, I cannot buy her anything else. But you're very right. Like just that simple act of just like, okay, well, let's go to Target and get this face wash that you want, or just little
right.
things. It doesn't even have to be an actual gift, just
Right.
something that she picks out herself.
Right. Yes. We got oh gosh, what are those Krabby Patties? You know those gummy little things?
Oh yeah.
Cooper wanted those, so he got those. And then when we came home, he put two on each of his brother's bed. So not only is he getting his gift fulfilled, then he's showing his brothers by giving gifts. Like that's kind of how I see in him, like what he wants, because that's how he does. He's like, I'm going to give these to the boys. And he put them on the bed. And I was like, oh, that's so nice.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
Thinking of his brothers.
Yes. Once in a blue moon. Yes. My love language is definitely acts of service.
Mine is too.
Empty the dishwasher, pour me a glass of wine, take something off my plate that I have on my to-do list, and I'll love you forever.
Yep, I am the same way. And I don't want to have to ask you to do it. It has to be self-initiated.
No, if you have to ask, then it may as well not be done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Billy says his love language is not doing acts of service. Like anytime anyone asks, he's like, my love language is not doing acts of service. This marriage is thriving.
Oh, that cracks me up.
Bless his heart. Although Shelby, oh, Shelby is what, year one, just past year one of marriage,
Yes.
and her complaints about her husband not putting the creamer away this morning. I'm like, oh girl, strap in because you have a long road ahead of you.
Yeah.
Like people just are who they are, and I think the sooner you realize like it's not going to change, you need to decide to choose your battles and just move on with your life.
Yeah, and I also think like my number one reaction is, Lord have mercy, don't have children anytime soon, honey.
If you can't handle your husband's mess, you definitely can't handle children's mess.
But also, I will never forget the very first time that I left Jaden and Evan with Jared, and I think I might have just gone back home to Florida to visit mom and dad for a few days. And that was like a turning point of our married life because Jared realized how much I actually did around the house every day.
There
Like
is
to fit it
no
in.
lesson better for a husband to learn than a wife to pack her bags and go on a girls' trip and leave all the kids.
Yes.
That is,
Yep.
especially for a stay-at-home mom, like you feel like what I do today, and the husband's probably like, "What'd you do today?" Because it still looks like a dump in here. That's the best. Girls' trip once a year. It's good for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a huge turning point, and I think he was not finally, like, he's never been really messy person, but he's like, "I how disrespectful of me to leave, like, my clothes laying beside the bed and not put them in the dirty clothes basket, or, my shoes all over the living room instead of leaving them in the mudroom," or stuff like that. Like, she has so much to pick up during the day, and I just make that problem worse.
Yes.
No.
Yep.
Yep. Good learning lessons.
For sure. That's our tip of the day. Book the trip, y'all. Oh my gosh. Um, oh my gosh. I just feeling sick about the tickets I just purchased that are so much expensive. Speaking of book the trip.
Did you get
Uh,
good seats?
relatively, yeah.
And this is a Christmas present, right? So I can't say what it is or who it's for.
Correct. As I'm starting to say that,
Okay.
I'm like, oh boy. I don't know if it's even going to be listened to by the person that is the recipient, but anyway, I should just stop talking about it now. Although I just act like everybody and their brothers listen to this podcast, and they're really not. It just is us here. I mean, not really. There are actually people listen to it, but you know, I have really been feeling the love from people telling me that they're enjoying the podcast.
Yes, me too. I had so many people even come up to me at church on Sunday morning, like, I was cleaning my house this weekend just listening to your podcast and dying laughing.
Oh my gosh, church people listen?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to go to like the repentance box.
The repentance box.
What do they call that thing? In,
Confession,
in what?
right? Isn't it the confession box?
It
Maybe.
probably doesn't say box at all.
It probably
Confessional.
doesn't.
Confessional.
The confessional. There we go. We're not Catholic.
We're not. We're not. Who was I listening to talk about? Oh, what's that interesting religion that Tom Hanks not Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise.
Um, Scientology?
Scientology.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast this morning. They were talking about like all these people who are Scientologists, and that there's a lot of interesting religions, but that one probably takes the cake.
Yeah, I've never really looked a whole lot into that.
Oh, there's some weird stuff. You could definitely rabbit hole it for sure.
Okay. I'll put that on my list. I love a good rabbit hole.
Oh man, I just started the Netflix documentary of the opioid crisis.
Oh,
I watched the Hulu one, and now it's like the same thing, but it's fascinating.
what is that one called? I think I started it.
I don't know. It's in my favorite section.
Okay. You'll have to text it to me. I think I started the first episode and then I got hooked on my Suits show.
Oh, yeah. I'm off the Suits train. I need to catch back up, but I am 100% on board with Southern Charm. I just finished last week's episode last night. So juicy, so good, so completely out of my whole realm of living and thinking, and like it's just out of touch with reality, and I love it.
What is that on?
Bravo.
Bravo. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
There are some seasons that are on Peacock, right?
oh, I don't know. I don't have Peacock.
Okay. I'm gonna
I
have
think it's
to.
Bravo. I watched it on YouTube TV, and then we switched it this week to like, I don't know, whatever. It's a mess. But we switched it, and so then I lost all of the history of what I had watched. All my recordings are still there, so I had to figure out where I was in the show, and then I ended up realizing I was 2 weeks behind. I had 2 weeks of good content waiting on me.
Oh my goodness.
So I've been watching it with my earbuds in while the boys have been watching baseball. So like I can hang out, but not just watch endless hours of the playoffs.
Yes.
Playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can only watch so much football too.
Yeah, I'm learning football, so I'm enjoying it better. Like watching Callan play, I'm learning. I know what some things are, and I know that I am confident enough I can cheer like when things happen before I'm waiting on other people to cheer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Like, I'm just glad that you know now that you don't only have 4 tries to make it to the end zone.
Well, now it's 4 tries to make it to the target.
To the target.
That's what it is at Counts game anyway. There's a parent holding the target, and then there's a parent holding the chain that's 10 yards, maybe?
10 yards. Yeah.
Okay, I need to learn more. Consider me watching the football games on Saturday.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be texting each other a lot on Saturday. So
We will. And on Sunday, the Jets play. And
okay.
we'll see if we see Taylor Swift anymore. I'm done with it. I'm done. I don't want to see anymore.
Well, I saw my first, I don't even remember where I saw it. It was just a headline that came up in one of my social media feeds, but the first rumor that they've already broken up. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Well, can we just go back to the beginning of this podcast where I said this is not legit? Do you know what his ex-girlfriend looks like?
No.
She's beautiful. She is African American. She's got a booty. Like, you could not have a different like, I feel like most people tend to have a type, and I don't know what his type would be if he was in love with her and in love with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, they
They could
definitely
not be
sound
more,
like two different people.
for
I
sure.
mean, they are two different people, but
Well, that is true as well.
different types.
Well, let's just not even all watch football to see Taylor Swift. Like, let's be done. Let's just watch football to learn about 4 tries to get to the end zone. I'm getting there, Carol. I am getting there. We have kind of waxed poetic about a whole lot of nothing for kind of a whole lot of a long time.
Yeah, going on 47 minutes.
Dang. I am going to take myself to Whole Foods to drop off some Amazon returns. Do you ever do that?
Not at Whole Foods, but I take mine to Kohl's because we don't have a Whole Foods close. So Kohl's or the UPS store are my 2 drop-off locations. And yes, I kind of have a problem with buying things on Amazon and then returning it on a very, very regular basis because I don't like to shop like for clothes. So I just buy things and then I try them on and then I send them back because I don't like 90% of them.
Well, that's okay. They have made their business model acceptable for you to do that.
Yes.
But once you have a Whole Foods close to you, they have leveled up the Amazon return game. So you're going to need to choose Whole Foods.
Okay.
You can do it yourself. They have like a little kiosk thing, and there's not always a person there. You just walk up to this machine, scan your barcode, stick the sticker on your bag, and throw it in the box.
Nice. This is very impressive.
It's impressive. And then I get to peruse Whole Foods and buy overpriced cookies. And it's really nice. So I'm going to do that on my way to the doctor. Oh, and I'm stopping at Party City to buy an inflatable Minion costume because that's what Callum's going to be for Halloween.
Oh, how cute.
Him and a bunch of his friends are going to be Minions, and there's going to be one group.
That will be fun.
Yes. So that's my to-do list for today. And what's on yours?
Right now, I'm going to take a shower and wash my hair because it is Wednesday. It's my hair washing day.
Right. Which reminds me, mine is currently wet on the top of my head. I still have to fix it.
Oh, there's your next hour.
Literally. Now I'm like, oh, shoot, I better get a move on because I got to go.
Yep.
Appointment to get to. All right. Got to end it. Let's go.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.